The Dutch Grand Prix of 2025 at Zandvoort will be remembered as one of the most frustrating chapters in Lewis Hamilton's long and decorated Formula One career. The British driver, once synonymous with consistency, raw speed, and race-winning genius, now finds himself enduring a phase filled with disappointment, missed opportunities, and an almost melancholic sense of decline. What unfolded on Dutch soil was not just a poor race, but a stark reminder of how far Hamilton has fallen from the heights that defined his prime. The warning signs had been present since Saturday. Hamilton's qualifying session was lackluster at best, leaving him stuck deep in the midfield. The Ferrari simply lacked balance and straight-line performance, and Hamilton seemed unable to find confidence in its handling. For a driver who once thrived in difficult conditions, wringing the absolute maximum out of the car regardless of limitations, it was telling to see him merely survive the session rather than fight for a breakthrough lap. The result condemned him to start from a position where points were never guaranteed, and the hill to climb was steep from the beginning. When the lights went out on Sunday, Hamilton's struggle only deepened. He failed to make gains off the line, trapped in traffic with cars around him that were either faster on the straights or more agile in the corners. The Ferrari lacked grip through Zandvoort's sweeping curves, forcing Hamilton into a defensive posture rather than an attacking one. Lap after lap, the seven-time champion appeared disconnected from the competitive rhythm of the midfield. Drivers with far less pedigree, rookies and those from less celebrated teams, managed to carve out aggressive overtakes, while Hamilton seemed almost resigned, unable to mount the kind of counterattack that once defined his racing. Strategically, things didn't improve. Ferrari opted for a conservative pit stop plan, but in a race defined by chaotic safety cars and unpredictable weather changes, Hamilton's side of the garage seemed paralyzed by indecision. When boldness was required, they hesitated. When patience was the better option, they pulled the trigger too early. The net result was a sequence of pit stops that left Hamilton perpetually out of sync with the main pack, running on the wrong tires at the wrong time. Every opportunity to climb up the order slipped through his fingers, and his radio messages carried the tone of a driver losing faith in his team's ability to turn things around. Meanwhile, his rivals thrived. Younger names like Gabriel Bortolito and others from the new generation capitalized on Ferrari's missteps, pushing their cars to the limit and extracting results that Hamilton could only watch from afar. The contrast was striking. Hamilton, once the face of relentless excellence, was now the victim of both circumstance and his team's failure, stuck in anonymity while others wrote the headlines. As the laps ticked down, frustration gave way to inevitability. Hamilton circulated outside the points, his Ferrari lacking the pace to close gaps and his race already compromised beyond repair. For fans who remember his duels with Verstappen, Rosberg, or Vettel, it was almost painful to witness. The man who once dominated entire seasons with an aura of invincibility now looked adrift, overshadowed by teammates, rivals, and even the machinery he piloted. Crossing the finish line, Hamilton's result was not only disappointing, it was symbolic. It reflected not just a bad day at the office, but a deeper narrative of decline. His words after the race, muted and weary, betrayed the emotions he once wore so openly. The fire that had fueled his golden years seemed dimmed by the reality of Ferrari's inefficiency and the natural passage of time. Hamilton still carries the aura of a legend, but Zandvoort showed that aura no longer guarantees performance on track. The Dutch Grand Prix exposed the harsh truth. Lewis Hamilton's era of dominance is firmly in the past. Where once he dictated races with poise and aggression, now he is at the mercy of circumstances, team errors, and a car that refuses to cooperate. Fans still flock to see him, and his name remains iconic, but the gap between expectation and reality has grown too large to ignore. In Zandvoort, the seven-time world champion did not just endure a bad race, he embodied the struggles of a driver wrestling with the twilight of his career.